Gary and I really take losses very personally and seriously, even though it's deck hockey and we're all friends and all that stuff. But what are we really playing for? Are we playing for the love of hockey in some way through deck? Or are we playing to win? Or had that question popping up in our heads afterwards. And just curious what's going through your mind, or what was going through your mind at the time, too.
Well, I mean, we're weekend warriors, obviously. We do this. I have to think we do this for fun, because why else would we do it? We're not getting paid for it. But, there's pride. There's a lot of pride there, too. And obviously, you're competitive. At least the way we play, we often, we pretty much play pickup games with our friends. So, it's a friendly game, but it's still a very competitive game. You wanna win, and I gotta be honest with you, James. Not just that day, but the last few times we've played, I'm really starting to wonder if it might be time to take off the pads.
No,
I mean it. I lost like you said, the November 5th games. I lost 2 games, and then I lost the next 3 games the following week. So 5 in a row. This past time we played, this past weekend, I eked out a win in the first game against a goalie in Mike who hasn't been in goal in about 5 months. And he gave up one more goal than I did. And then we got an empty netter. And then I got embarrassed 7-3 in the next 2 games. I got blown out. And I wear, as it is, I wear knee braces on both knees, and I still managed to tweak one of my knees in the first game. And I just have to wonder, if I can do this anymore, if I'm becoming a liability to my team, because I do play for fun, but by the same token, I owe it to my team to give them the best chance to win every single game. And it's killing me that I'm not stopping the puck when I'm supposed to. And it's not fair to them for me to not be stopping the puck, because that's my job.
Again, one of the things that we love about you is your fire and your determination. But one of the things of being a goalie is that you do take it too seriously and personally if we do lose. But like we've tried to say in the past, is at least speaking from a defensive point of view, anytime a shot is taken on a goalie, that means the defense broke down. Now, is that being unrealistic? To a certain extent, yes. But your primary function as a defenseman is to make sure that the goalie has nothing to worry about at all, that it's a soft shot or something easy. You never want to give up any kind of legitimate scoring chance. Plus, it should be said that at least for the November 5th games, the other team we played against was pretty darn good and made up of guys like Brad, Brett, Carlos, Mike, and Craig in goal, who made many, many, many fine saves that day, by the way. So it's nothing to be ashamed of when you're outplayed by such good players and good people, too, not to mention. But I'm really brokenhearted to hear this. I want you to get these thoughts out of your head, man, because say it ain't so, Joe. But we all go through slumps, and I think not playing consistently catches up with you either immediately or in the long run. So in this case, I know personally for me, just battling through this sinus infection and things, which I usually get sick that way, just whatever reason. I won't bore people for that. But you're not running around as much as you should. You're not exercising as much as you should, and things of that nature. Plus, when it gets colder, you're stuck inside more, and it's just the nature of where we live in this part of the world. So, yeah, you have a lot of things going against you, unfortunately, with knees and things, but we admire your tenacity and your gamesmanship, and you're always prepared. I mean, you're paying attention. It's not like you're lollygagging out there or you're not playing hard or anything like that. So hopefully it's just maybe a slump. I know personally for me, I need to practice. That's just where it all boils down to. I have to start stick handling again and just shooting and doing whatever. For a future podcast, as a matter of fact, topic, want to see if I could fix my shot, because a lot of times, and November 5th was a perfect example of that, where I didn't do anything to help my team win, but I did help it lose. So I definitely take full responsibility for our losing streak as well, is that if you're a defenseman, you at least have to, sure, if you're going to play the blue line, you have to have a good shot and you have to have an accurate shot. For two reasons. One, hopefully you try and score. And two, you're keeping the puck in your zone and at minimum helping your teammates maybe get a rebound shot or whatever the case is. So when our goalie, you usually being our goalie, doesn't have a chance to catch his breath, if the puck is constantly in our zone, and if we're being run around too much, or if we're just facing great players like Brad and Brett all the time, unfortunately one team has to lose. And when we're playing against those guys, it's usually us. But I hope you just get to regroup and come back strong and get out of that little slump. But don't take it personally, and don't think that it's you by any means. Well,
look, I appreciate that. And I apologize to you, the listener, because I know I've been pretty heavy-handed the last couple of shows, and I know that's not what you've come to expect on this podcast and what you're used to. You come here, I would assume, to be entertained, but I've just been feeling stuff pretty raw lately. You know, my emotions have been pretty close to the surface lately, and it's coming out. So yeah, no. And James, I like I said, I appreciate what you're saying, but you on defense, you have a lot of ground to cover, and you're only one of many people who have to cover many people. My job is to patrol a area of 4 by 6 feet. Okay, that it's a small area, and I stay there, and I have to make sure the puck doesn't get past me, and that's my only job. And if the puck does get past me, then I have failed. And it doesn't matter if I'm in there with 2 broken legs against Wayne Gretzky. If the puck gets past me, I have failed in my job. My job is to stop the puck. My job is not to try my best. It's not to say, they beat me with a great shot, got to tip my cap to them. And it's definitely not to blame my defense. It is a binary, either I stop it or I don't. And if I don't, then I have let down my team, and it is my fault that I have not put my team in its best possible chance to win. And that's, I've faced some good players. The last time we played, I had Brad and Joe, and who's their other player? Ron. Brad and Joe are great, but Ron hasn't played in a year. And their goalie was Mike, who, like I said, he hasn't played goal in 5 months. And, I didn't have, I didn't have the Zamboni driver on my team. I had Rob and Igor, who were both great playmakers, great shots, and John, who, he's a solid player. So Mike didn't give up 7 goals. I gave up 7 goals in consecutive games. I feel like I have no excuse anymore. And how many bad games before it's my fault? I'm not trying to throw myself a pity party here. I feel like you asked why we play. I play because, I want to be the guy who carries my team to victory. I want to be that last line of defense. And if I can't be that anymore, then I feel like I don't belong there. I don't belong in the crease. And that's it.
Yeah, I respectfully disagree. And again, I understand what you're talking about, and that's the mentality you need to have as a goalie. But we win as a team and we lose as a team. And bottom line, if we scored 8 goals we would have won. You just need one more goal in the other team because we do play timed periods and things. We don't just play till 7 first or whatever the case is.
Actually,
those games
that last game I played probably should have been 8 or 9 goals. Frankly, Brad, I gave up a rebound and Brad had the puck all alone and I was down, and he probably just, in a show of good sportsmanship, instead of trying to go around me and put a puck in, he cleared it back to his own zone to run out the clock.
Well, another point too, which people may not realize, is usually when we play, there's sun is in your face. And yeah, I mean, we wear black jerseys for whatever that's worth. And obviously the goalie has all the gear on and stuff. So even if it's hot, I mean, if it's cool outside, the goalie's always sweating a lot more and having the sun beating on you. The other thing too you have to worry about are shadows, which may sound strange to the outside person listening who doesn't play deck hockey, but as a defenseman and being an older guy, it's kind of hard for me to pick up things when there's a lot of shadows and such, especially if there's a long shot coming at you. So just keep that in mind too. You're the type of guy that just automatically goes for the hardest road to play through. So any little advantage like that, you don't even give yourself. And I don't even think you realize that. If you're setting up on the side where 2 times the team has the sun to their backs and you're staring into the sun and you're dealing with all these shadows and things like that, that does catch up with you. So just keep that in mind too. It's not a controlled environment, so it's not the same on both sides. And that does come back to bite you in the butt once or twice. And I'm not making an excuse there either, but that's the whole point why we brought up what do we play for, because yeah, we love deck hockey. We enjoy it. It's fun and this, that, and the other thing. But if you don't win, it's kind of a catch-22 because you're not happy. And anything you compete in, no matter what, if it's the least bit competitive, the aim is to play well and to win. It doesn't matter if it's a game of solitaire or whatever. You don't want to lose. So just keep that in mind. Maybe if you're in a little slump or if it's just in the back of your head, just think about that if we need to get you back on track and get your confidence back or whatever the case is, then go to the other goal for 2 games for the 2 periods, and see how that goes. So, or if you just, like you said, you want to take a break from playing goal and you want to play defense, which you're a great defenseman too, by the way. And I could vouch for you having a very heavy shot, being bruised up by trying to block it.
Sorry.
So, hey, nobody needs to apologize because I'm the fool that tries to jump in the way. So it's my own responsibility and fault for that.
I was going to say in my defense, but really it's not any kind of defense. But the simple fact of the matter is I really don't know what I'm doing. I'm even in goal, stick handling is by far my biggest weakness. So, just if all I'm doing is stick handling, I have no idea where my shot is going. I'm just,
That makes 2 of us. I don't know where my shot goes either. So I just kind of close my eyes and hope for the best. But that's for a future podcast. So anyway, listen, that's what we just wanted to air this out. And anybody listening out there, if you've gone through a slump, especially if you're a goalie, please help out my right-hand man, the American Rhino, and cheer him up and get him back out there and confident. And a couple of wins will change all that in a heartbeat. So that's just the thing.
All right.
No matter what you're doing, if you're competing in any level, the goal is to win. But it's still, you got to deal with it. And like we said, if we lose, like for the second weekend that we played for the November 12th games, there were 3 really tight games and very evenly matched, back and forth, really tight. And yeah, we lost those games, but I didn't feel horrible about it because I thought we played well. I thought that we could have, or at least we had chances to win. But, Craig was great in goal, as he usually is. And sometimes you just, like we said, one team has to win and one team has to lose. So if you can make it an even matchup and you played your guts out and nobody cheated or nothing goofy happened or fluky, I can live with that. At least I have to rationalize that anyway. I'm used to losing, so it's kind of a thing that I got to rationalize with. But
just to give you kind of a microcosm of the entire experience, the last game we played, I think the second to last goal that got scored, I think it was Joe that had taking a shot, and the puck, I stopped it, and I thought it was between my pads, so I squeezed my pads and I fell over and I wound up face down in the net, and I thought I had it until I heard a ping and felt it fall down onto the back of my mask.
Oh man.
So I mean that just sums up this whole thing. I thought I had it, but I really didn't.